Hey guys, it's Alex and Marcus here with round two of the Edison Cup. Hey Marcus.
What's good, guys? We've got Alex Moffat playing Blackwings, which was a very popular strategy back in the day. And we have Tristan playing a dragon deck. There's loads of different variations of dragons, but he's gone for a more combo oriented build with cards of consonants and trading and tried to, make a big push turn one. So it will be an interesting match.
Is this what you call the deep draw dragon deck?
Yeah,
That's
it's the
right.
deep door dragon. It tries
Yeah.
to really push turn one.
Yeah. And then I think Blackwings was probably the most popular deck within this tournament, I think. Um and
Yeah,
Moffat's just rolling with it. So should we start?
yeah, yeah.
So Moffat wins the dice roll, which I feel like that's pretty important as well.
Against the deep draw dragon deck for sure, because if Tristan is able to set up his like Red MD Draco from early and set up his graveyard, it just puts him at a massive advantage.
mhm. Whereas like he'll have to push through back row cards. Even just like the setup from Whirlwind is a lot to like push through as well.
I think oppression would be tough
Yes.
as
Oh,
well,
that'd be like immensely hard to deal with.
but
Even
Moffat
the Bora feels somewhat hard to deal with being at 31 with the
with
Kalute,
the
right?
Kalute, like yeah, with like Bora Whirlwind with the Kalute, especially like Tristan's deck has big monsters, but staring down Kalute isn't
Yeah.
particularly easy. And then resolving Dust
Does
Shoot
shoot
here.
as well, yeah. What do you think you get rid of with the Does shoot here? Because I feel like personally it's probably the Blue Eyes. Because you can't stop back cards of Consonance resolving because there's two Debris Dragon. But
I think it might be the Draco.
oh
Because if
really?
he doesn't draw anything, he pretty much has to pass. And if he does pass, Moffat can do a really big push next
Okay,
turn.
no, that also makes sense. I'm just
But
thinking
I
like the cards
with
to stop.
trading, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
He can also draw trading, which kind of like unbricks his hand.
yeah.
But we'll
Because
see.
he's got two draw cards, so he's seeing the next three cards of his deck at minimum, right? Um, so I can see why he's definitely thinking hard about this because the Draco also puts a lot of pressure on. It forces Moffat to have to use the Kalute. Like he puts the
Oh,
debris
he's gone for
back.
the debris.
Oh, that is different.
That's an
I
interesting
did, yeah, I
choice.
didn't think about that. I wouldn't have thought that even.
I'm not sure what he was thinking with going with the debris.
No, I don't either.
I'm honest with you.
Because one of the other two feels a lot more like you're getting actual value out of that trapdoor shoe, whereas this doesn't
Yeah, pretty much his
feel
hand
as
pretty much
much.
stays the same, if that
Yeah,
makes sense. Like the second debris didn't really add
yeah.
much to that hand. Um, Tristan will likely be playing
Well, it
his
looks like he
dark.
drew into another debris anyway. Um, so yeah, just trying to draw more cards, trying to get the play started, I guess. Um,
The Dark Lord Dealings isn't very common in the Deep Draw Dragon deck. That was one of Tristan's techs because he really wanted to. He just wanted to improve the consistency of his deck.
mm, it
It
doesn't
is weird because
feel
it does
super
mean your
consistent, right?
yeah. It's just weird because your opponent has the opportunity to unbrick their hand,
Mm-hmm.
which
Definitely.
becomes a bit weird.
Um, so you can see play pass back to Moffat here.
Yeah,
Um, looking at the hands there, you can see he's got like a Sirocco, um,
Icarus, Kalute.
Icarus attack, Kalute. Um, do you think he had dropped the Kalute here? I don't think so, right?
Not sure.
Mm,
I think I might have tribute summoned Soraka though because it replaces itself.
yes,
If that
definitely,
makes
definitely.
sense.
And doing it in main phase 2 feels like less value at least.
Yeah, it just feels like a bit of a waste. Because he would have just been at the same state as he was before, but
Yeah.
better. His monster is now a 2000 monster.
How do you feel about
Yeah.
searching the Blizzard there?
Blizzard's alright. Blizzard's like the best follow up Blackwing has.
Mm-hmm.
Like it turns into a level 6 synchro, and here we have Tristan resolving the trade, and hopefully Tristan will be able to unbrick his hand. He has a lot of like high value draws he could
Yeah,
get into.
definitely.
Like a Future Fusion here would be crazy.
There's a
That
lot
card
of
is
cards. From also how from Moffat's played, you can tell he. I don't think he drew. Oh, sorry. I think one of the set cards is an Icarus attack. Because he didn't set the second one or the one in hand. Um, what is that
someone's
card?
that is Clear Vice Dragon.
Oh, do you know what that one does? Because I have no clue.
I think it has an ability to double its attack for. I'm not entirely sure.
Let
Um,
Let me check quick.
So yeah, if this card attacks an opponent's monster, the attack of this card becomes twice the attack of the attack target. But yeah, it hasn't actually got any attack. It's got a question mark attack.
Oh, it's got a cool effect. It's got bomb text as well, actually. Um,
If this, oh, it has.
if this card is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, discard a card instead. So that plays like really well into the Icarus attack here.
Yeah, it
Um,
actually does.
the downside of this is it says if this card attacks, so it means that if Moffat pushes back, I believe it won't gain any attack, right?
Yeah, it won't
Um,
get any attack. Because Tristan's idea for this deck was to OTK.
yeah.
He really wants the game to not be as many turns as possible, which is yeah,
The issue here, because it's like it's just dragging along now, and I feel like as every turn passes, it just gets a little bit further into Moffat's control.
yeah,
Um,
for sure.
and as you can see, he's got two cards in hand. It's slowing down. The draw power isn't there as much.
Yeah, Tristan hasn't got much value in this game.
It's just
Moffat's win is just going to keep on
getting
giving him
free card.
advantage.
Yeah, literally.
I don't think Tristan's going to be able to OTK anytime soon. He
No.
really needs something like a Future Fusion. Like his first couple of turns are so big, but he needs to discard a lot and hopefully resolve one or two Super Rejuvenations, and it just really hasn't happened.
So two cards, the Clear Vice Dragon. Now on
Goyo
Moffat's
got it
field.
also hit for 2-8.
Yeah. It's like just putting a lot of pressure on now. It's just getting. It's just. It just doesn't look very good for Tristan here. I don't think it's going to be easy for him to come back.
Yeah,
Maybe just even possible. I don't think. Because
I don't. Yeah, I don't think it's really
I don't think
possible.
it's
It's not. You need
possible.
something like a Future Fusion.
Yeah, like that Drago's just not doing enough because it's kind of just trading with a monster that's not doing anything.
Yeah,
Um, like if I was Moffat, I'd be fine with this. Because really, okay. Yeah, if I was
maybe
Moffat,
this
I
win
think I'd be
next
fine
turn
with that.
because it's really easy for him to put another what's the 2-4 on board to win. Oh, he doesn't have enough to put 2-4. Did he attack with a clear
Yeah,
vice?
yeah,
Oh wait, Tristan did have a gauze,
yeah.
but I don't think it does much because he has value Icarus.
Yeah, I don't know. I
And
feel I feel like this
he
was
ain't very much done.
Moffat getting punished here. I think honestly, summoning the Goyo punching over the Drago and stealing it, that would have been value, right?
Oh
Actually,
no, no,
I
because
guess it dies the Emphasis, isn't it? Actually, what am I on about? Um, but yeah, this is just punishing now. Now you could add Goyos in the graveyard as well. Oh, that's good though, but it doesn't matter now. Oh, it definitely doesn't matter.
it actually would have been all right if the yeah, if the Future Fusion did resolve, Tristan would have been back into it because he would have been able to have sent multiple Red Eyes Wyvern. And with the Red Eyes Wyverns, he would have been able to summon multiple Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragons. And I think, I'm not sure how Moffat would have been able to out the Red MDs without no Blackwings. Because we saw his hand, he didn't have any
Well, he
Blackwings
had
to.
the Bayou in the graveyard, right?
There was nothing. It would make a Whirlwind, but you wouldn't be able to plus off the Whirlwind to add a Kalut, if
Yeah,
that
it's
makes sense
true.
to
That's
run
true.
over.
So I guess because what's it called Red Eyes Darkness was what 28, so he'd have traded
Yeah,
with
go,
the
yeah.
Goyo at least.
Okay, you also did have the Clear Vice.
Clear Vice, yeah, the Clear Vice would have done it as well, I guess. So they're going into game two. What do you think they're siding in here? If anything?
Tristan, I think Tristan does have to respect depression. He is
Oh,
against
very
the backdoor
much.
deck. He probably has a main deck. I don't know if he will go for the approach of still keeping his deck consistent and not putting any
Mm.
cards that are not engine. But I think you do have to respect depression and just put in couple more spot removal for the
Yeah,
depression, which is
especially just like in Tristan's deck, the second oppression's resolved, I feel like again you're just not getting back into it.
yeah,
Um, but the consistency here also feels a bit damaging, just because again, like as we saw game one, the second he lost that steam, it was kind of over for him.
yeah. The deep draw dragon deck can be very good when it hits off, but I would say it is one of the higher variance decks
Yeah,
in
definitely.
Edison. And it's very unlike the way other decks in Edison play. The way other decks in Edison play, they usually take into account that the game's going to be multiple turns, whereas
Hmm.
the deep draw dragon deck kind of just doesn't respect it. It kind of just wants to end the game in like literally a couple turns. It wants to resolve that super rejuvenation for value and just take take the game
Yeah.
away from them.
I'm gonna assume that this is a very like a modern look on approach to Edison even. Um,
Yeah, there
in
wasn't
comparison.
anyone really playing combo back then like
Yeah.
this.
How do you think it would have done back in the day if it was Draco set?
I think it definitely would have done well. There's a lot of really good modern Edison decks that would have done well. And yeah, this one would have been one of them. I don't think deck building was perfect back then, so any of the newer decks would have definitely shown.
A slow start for Tristan as well. Just
Yes,
opening
yeah, this
Drago.
is
Yeah, this is just unfortunate here. Um,
because you just want to draw and discard. That's the whole point of the deck. It plays cards of consonance, trade in, magical stone of excavation, and then hopefully able to resolve the super
mhm.
rejuvenation. I think you also plays pot of avarice.
Yeah,
So not you might just be stuck on a lot of bricks.
yeah. If it, I feel like if you just get stuck on like the big dragon cards, or even like the white stones that aren't doing anything, um, you just kind of you're just playing a waiting game, just waiting for like something to actually happen. Um,
Um, Blackwing is one of the more aggro decks in this format too, so Moffat will not give him many turns to see draws. Blackwings can do a lot of damage in a very short
mhm.
space of time.
Set to push. Katasta seems decent too, actually, as well.
I've finally seen the trade in. Will Tristan be able to see more cards
Oh,
in
it
his
looks like
deck?
he's got. It looks like he's got some more spell cards at least.
We see
Um,
an instant fusion, which is also one of the techs he wanted to play.
mm.
He
What's that
wanted to
summoning? Is it
use it.
just summoning a dragon? A
It
dragon
can,
monster?
I think he uses it for synchro fodder.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Another draw card. Um, so he's just. I feel like he's just trying to get to like something playable here, right? Um, it looks like
Hopefully,
he's.
drawing super rejuvenation. This is ideally how the deck plays
So that's a draw two in the end phase now, right?
currently.
Currently. So what I can see is he's got like a card consonance, what looks like a debris dragon, the instant.
He
Um,
also has a Call of the Haunted.
Call of Haunted could also be big. The issue being the Catasta right now.
Yeah,
Um,
as right now his target for Call of the Haunted is Blue Eyes White Dragon, which in
oh,
a
that's
lot of
pretty good.
scenarios, Heavy Storm is very big.
Very big. Um, oh, the
Dealing with
Oppression
the
2
oppression and the bottomless.
and the Bottomless.
So he just seems to have gone
Two
for set
draws.
Call of the Haunted pass.
I don't think this is. Oh, that
Oh
okay.
my!
Oh,
I
wow.
think this is gonna end the game. I honestly think this is gonna end the
Yeah,
game.
okay,
Dark
that.
Dragon this time is, in my opinion, one of the best cards in Edison. It can go +3 in a lot of scenarios and deal a lot of damage.
There's no way this isn't game, right? He's.
Like Tristan needed to have drawn a Gauze off that super rejuve.
Yeah, very much.
If he hasn't, because I'm Moffat was sure. Moffat definitely has a Bora in hand, which
Yeah,
is
he's got a Blizzard as well. Like,
yeah,
there's
he can
no way
do
this is
whatever
not
he wants.
Tristan being on 67 as well, right?
Yeah,
So either of those is literally just game on board. Um, and you can also somewhat disrespect Gauze, I think. Because in the situation
yeah,
they do Gauze, you've still got the ability to
Dark
clear it
Hand.
out, yeah. Um, Look at him go.
He's just summoning the almond just in case. He's got the Valiant Grave just in case this all doesn't work out
Oh,
and Tristan
damn.
open up the game.
Oh, he didn't. Oh,
He-
I thought the debris dragon. Sorry, the Drago was a debris dragon actually. Well, that was a clean 2-0 from Moffat. Um,
Sadly, we couldn't see the Dragon deck deep draw.
Deep draw. Yeah, it felt like it started to get going that game especially. But it's just like a missing one card. Um, Compared
Just
to
the
at least
Black
game
One deck,
two.
it's just very aggro. It doesn't really give the opponent much turns to react.
Yeah, it's very
So,
aggro, especially just like that game one where he just got started with the whirlwind from turn one. I feel like
Like,
it
that was
was.
immense pressure, immense pressure.
Hmm. Um, but yeah,
Here we have
Tristan
it.
unfortunately
Moffat is the
lost.
winner.
Moffat won 2-0 with the powerful Blackwing strategy. So yeah, let's go into the next round, I guess.